yesterday I did a TED talk. It was positioned as a TED talk, and actually it wasn't a big global, actual, official TED talk, because that's for Nobel Prize winners and Oscar winners and that elite of people. But I did a kind of mini TEDx that again wasn't actually officially a TEDx, but it was within one of our clients in a massive TEDx-like auditorium. And the brief was very clear. I had to talk for 18 minutes without slides and without notes. And so that was an incredibly challenging brief, especially because this was a last minute request. They were looking for a powerful female speaker that could bring a bit of energy and have a different perspective on the topic of gender equality in advertising. So look at it with fresh eyes. So I was invited to do it, but I had very little time to prepare, which is not the usual Bianca way, because part of the way I navigate my work proficiency is ensuring that I'm absolutely prepared to a T. So I just thought it would be useful to share with you the process that I went through to get myself into this place where I felt so confident and excited yesterday that I just couldn't wait to get up there on that stage and tell the story of the chronology of advertising and media's representation of women and men over the years and where we are now in terms of female empowerment. And actually the theme of my talk was very much around the fact that women are driving the global economy, which is why brands, advertisers have to pay attention, they have to take notice, because our purses are a major global commercial opportunity. So anyway, the way I prepared was firstly, got the script absolutely written so I was very comfortable, that had enough personality, enough fact, and a very logical flow with inspiration peppered throughout. Got that script written, so it was nailed, it was perfect. The client approved it, some colleagues fed into it, and the script was nailed. Then what I did, and this was a brilliant tip from my lovely daughter, Scarlett Best, thank you very much for this tip. I read the script out to myself and recorded it on my phone. I used voice notes. And so having that recording meant that then I was able to just keep listening and listening and listening to the script, despite the fact that I didn't actually have time to prepare. I basically had Sunday to prepare for this. So yeah, Sunday was my prep day, Monday was the actual talk, which is not what I will do when I do a real one, by the way. So I recorded the script, and then as I was going about my business and doing all the weekendy things that I needed to do, I was constantly listening and listening and listening. It was just on repeat, in my headphones, in the car, on the treadmill. I was just listening and listening and listening. So by the time it came to Sunday morning, I had a really good sense of that script. And what I then did is sat down, massive A4 pieces of paper, and started chunking down the different sections of the, thank you, oh, sorry, someone was just trying to come into the meeting room, chunking down all the different sections of the script into individual sections. So I had 12 different sections, and then within each of those sections, I gave the section a name, and then I had the key bullets within each section. So I had 12 A4 pieces of paper all spread out on my kitchen table. It was a real sort of work in progress. I was workshopping myself, workshopping my own memory to work out how I was able to do this. So I had my 12 pieces of paper, a heading on each piece of paper, and then the individual bullets under each section. Then what I did was I created a master A4 that had a timeline across it, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 12. And then just a little note of each section, what the heading was. So I could start to really visualize that flow of the 1 to 12 chunks. Then I really started to get into actually learning each of those chunks. So each of the A4 pieces of paper that had the heading and then the bullets, I then started scripting and scripting and scripting and learning each chunk. And I probably spent about 15 to 20 minutes on each of the chunks. And then I translated those chunks into little notes cards. So then I distilled this massive script down to 12 little notes cards that just had the key bullets or key statistics, key points that I wanted to make per section. And then I literally just rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. And I went through these notes cards And I would stand in front of the mirror and I would just rehearse, and Scarlett came in at one point and I did sit down, made her sit down and said, okay, I'm going to do it, but I don't think I know it yet. But actually she said I did, she gave me a bit of confidence. And then I kept going and I kept going, and then I had to fly to Switzerland, and I sat in the lounge with my notes cards, just talking to myself. I did it again and again, got to the hotel, did it again, I set my alarm early, did it again and again in the morning. I did it 3 times before I even left to get to the venue. So by the time I got to the venue, I felt so comfortable. I actually felt really excited and just couldn't wait to get up on stage. By the time I was at the 12:30 TED Talk, and by the time I was all mic'd up, I was just feeling like, yeah, bring it on. Had my outfit, had a nice little dress that made me feel good, and I was just excited. So it just became a really wonderful moment, actually, and I'm proud of myself. It went really well. It was high energy. Everything was great. Didn't forget anything. So the whole experience has really reassured me that my brain can remember, but there's a methodology to get into that place where you can remember content so that you can then deliver competently. So now my ambition is to actually do a real TEDx. And so I need to think what the message is that I want to share that is going to change people's minds. So there's my little guide to how to make sure you can remember a talk so that you feel comfortable, confident, energized and happy when you're on stage and don't have any notes. Okay, have a good Tuesday. Bye.